Hey guys, it's me, 80s from 4. Today, guys, I'm joined by a special guest on here. The guy is Matt's channel, and today we'll be discussing about the England national team. So, before we talk about lineups and everything like that, let's just give a quick overview of England. And yeah, so Matt, how are you feeling about this World Cup?
Very upbeat, very excited. I think this will be a very different World Cup. I think it's going to end the 32 team format with a bang, and it's got a good chance of being as good, if not better, than the last World Cup. So it's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So let's go ahead and give a quick overview. So, as you guys know, England is in Group B of the World Cup. They have USA, Iran, then you have Wales, Scotland, Austria. Actually, not Austria, sorry, Ukraine. And so that's a very interesting group, I got to say. So, what's your thoughts on that group particularly?
It's a group that I think England should be getting first in. I think all the sides have assets that can cause damage, but I think it's a group I'm happy with, and there's some very good matchups in here overall.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, let's go ahead and I guess now is a good time to discuss about the squad. So let's go ahead and do starting 11 first, and then we'll do bench afterwards. So this is starting 11 we have here for England. So who do you have in goal for England?
So in goal, this isn't too much of a difficult decision. I've got John Pickford. I mean, he's had an okay season, which has ended fantastically. Aaron Ramsdale, he's been good lately, but he's not really established himself for England. And John Pickford's had a couple of fantastic tournaments lately,
Yeah,
so it's got to be Pickford.
yeah. I think you guys are gonna have three goalkeepers. So who would your third choice be?
Uh, I'd probably go with Nick Pope as that third one, but not spoil for choice. Sam
Yeah,
Johnston's been a frequent appearer as well.
yeah. Yeah, for the purposes of this video, guys, we're gonna go with 23 players. That's usually the squad that's usually allowed in there. I heard there might be 26, but let's just go with 23 for this one. So yeah, those are your three goalkeepers. So you got Pickford, Ramsdale, and then Nick Pope. So yeah, those are three good goalkeepers, and I do agree with you in the sense that I think Southgate will pick Pickford as the goalkeeper. And what's the formation gonna be? Oh yeah, I forgot to ask you that.
I will say 4-2-3, 4-2-3-1.
Okay,
Is
there's like two
the
different ones, A or
Yeah,
B.
that one.
This one.
What's is that? The Was A the last one?
Yeah, A is the one with three camps and two
I'll go
CDMs.
the second one.
Okay. Yeah, I think the second one's better. Okay. So right back position. Now this is interesting. You guys have a lot of right backs for this one.
Indeed.
Yeah. Who do you
I
envision will start?
if I got I think it could go either way on some of them. I would go with, and I think there's a good chance he's probably going to go with it. Southgate will probably go with this as well. I'd say Kyle Walker.
Yeah. So quick word of thought. How many right backs do you think Gareth Southgate's going to call up, and who do you think is going to get called up for this position?
I'll say three right backs.
Okay. Walker.
Um,
Yeah, Walker.
yeah, probably I'd say Reece James as well, and then he'll probably pick one of Trent Alexander-Arnold or Kieran Trippier.
Ooh, that's interesting. I do agree with you that James and Walker's get called up. If you had to put your money and you had to make a guess, who do you think is more likely, Trippier, Trent?
Um, I know personally, I'd say Trippier. What's the more likelihood? Maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold's got a slightly better chance, but Walker, James, and Trippier would be my three.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, England, they're spoiled in the right back positions. It's so hard to call. Yeah, I do. If I'm Southgate, like who do I want more, Trippier or Trent? Because Trippier is really good with set pieces, and Trent's really good with his crosses. And
Indeed.
I feel as though that which one is more beneficial to the team, set pieces or crosses, for England in particular.
Oh, I guess a bit of both. I mean, I personally I'd put Trent Alexander-Arnold over Reece James, but Reece James probably defensively he's good. Probably he's better and more dynamic in defensive positions as well. So wing back, right of a back three. And as for your question, I'd say the answer is more what other players can be providing that stuff.
Yeah, and also I remember I think Trent. I don't think he was selected for the Euros, right?
Yeah, he picks up an injury in one of the friendlies, so
Never
go.
mind. Okay,
I don't know where in the pecking order he would have been. I think they would have all gone, the four of them.
Yeah, so maybe there might be a chance for right backs. You never know, but
yeah, there could be.
Yeah, like let's be real. It's gonna be 3 or 4. There's not gonna be more than 4, I would imagine. So, what makes you choose Walker amongst the best? What makes you think Walker is gonna be the one selected over the rest?
I would say I'd say probably he's the best defensively. He's one of the fastest players out there, and he's a good player to have defensively on counter attacks, and I'd say, guess the experience does help as well.
Yeah, fair enough. So now we move on to the center back position. Now this gets really interesting here. So how many center backs do you think is going to get called up first for this one?
Oh, I think it's going to probably be something like 4, 5, possibly 6 if they can play in another position.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, let me hear your center back names who you have, and then we'll look at the ones who should start.
And is this down to what I would have or what I think?
What do you think?
Oh, okay. I think Stones and Maguire will be the first 2 names called up.
Yeah, and would you say those 2 are starters as well?
Yes.
Okay, makes sense. I also agree as well.
I think Ben White's going to be one of the options as well. And I think I'd personally have Fikayo Tomori, and I think I'd go with the 4 centre backs. That's a good. I think if he isn't called up soon enough, then it could be Connor Cody, possibly Tyrone Mings, but yeah, I'd say it will probably be one of Connor Cody, Fikayo Tomori. Personally, I'd go Fikayo Tomori.
Okay. Yeah, I think Greg. Sorry, not Greg. I was thinking of someone else. Gareth South. Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Gareth Southgate. Sorry, my bad. I was thinking about Berhalter, but I meant Gareth Southgate. Sorry. I think Southgate might actually pick Cody for this one or Tyrone Mings over Tomori. And I say that because he wasn't even called up for the friendlies earlier this year. So I don't imagine he'll call up Tomori for the World Cup, in my personal opinion. So
Yeah, I imagine it'll probably be Connor Cody.
yeah. So fair enough, I guess. And then left back position. Left back, I believe it's going to be, it's got to be Luke Shaw, right?
It's interesting. I think personally, I'd have Aaron Cresswell in there, but he's not. For some reason, he hasn't been in many of the England squads. Ben Chilwell's been injured.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I guess at this rate, given we don't have a great selection of left backs, it might well get. It'll probably be Luke Shaw playing at left back.
Okay. Yeah, that's I guess okay. So the three left backs I guess will be Luke Shaw, and then do you think Cresswell will make the World Cup squad?
I think it'll be two left backs.
Ooh, two left backs. Okay, so Luke Shaw, and then I guess Ben Chilwell. I think Chilwell will be back for the World Cup.
Yeah, but then there's also, can he get back into the Chelsea team as well?
Yeah, like I said,
yeah, I'd probably have Aaron Cresswell and one of Ben Chilwell or Shaw, but could even be Tyreek Mitchell as well.
Yeah. So yeah, you think two left backs? So yeah, it's gonna probably be two left backs. So let me go ahead and do a quick count real quick. So defenders, you have two left backs, four center backs, I guess. Actually, wait, three. Wait.
Two left backs, four centre backs, three
Yeah,
right
four center
backs.
backs, three right backs, and then three goalkeepers. So 3, 3, 6, 10. Okay, so 12. So 12 players, the defenders, I guess. So actually, what was the other center back you have? So we said Maguire and Stones, and then I think you got
Ben
Cody
White
and oh yeah,
and
Ben
Connor
White. I forgot
Cody.
about. Okay. All right, let's move on to CDMs now. This is getting interesting. I think two are pretty obvious. I would say.
So squad wise, I think, and some of this might be down to heart, but there are some guaranteed ones in there. Declan Rice, Calvin Phillips, Jude Bellingham, Jordan Henderson, and starter, I would say Rice and Bellingham.
Wait, isn't Bellingham more of a CDM? I mean CM rather than a CDM.
Well, I think the idea is so he can do both well. So, and I think the fact that Calvin Phillips is probably still needs like more game time to get up to speed. That's going to be a big advantage for Jude Bellingham. I think Bellingham might sneak it, and I think I would probably have him there anyway. So I'd have Rice and Bellingham in that two midfield.
Yeah. So
and then my two attacking midfielders, I'm looking at Mason Mount and Phil Foden. And to start, I'd have Phil Foden. I think England I think Phil Foden is at his best in the middle. He's one of these players that he's what England would have needed 4 years ago. Just didn't have that kind of player. You can do the long passes, the through balls, put it out to the wide players through the middle. And in that first game against Croatia, it's probably one of the first times I've seen an England player and be like, wow. But yeah, I'd have Foden as Cam, sort of a transitional centre midfield and Cam player. And he might also be a fitting player if we have to play in a midfield battle. And wide players, Sterling's going to be an obvious one, and I think Saka's going to be there as well. Probably Jadon Sancho. I'd have Sterling on the left and Sancho on the right. And Jadon Sancho, one of the few players that actually will go wide, run at people. I think that's going to be very key. And then up top, we're left with about 2 strikers. If it's 25-3, will be great. So Harry Kane's the obvious one, and I'd have him start. And then it's down to Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Tammy Abraham. I think right now it's more likely to be Tammy Abraham in the squad and Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the third pecking order. And I'd have, if it did expand to 25, which there's talks of it happening, I think I'd have Calvert-Lewin and Grealish. And if it does go to 26, Trent Alexander-Arnold will be a player there. But I think, that's going to be my 11. A good 4-2-1-3, something like that. I think it could easily go to a back 3, but I think we can't be too sure, but I think that's going to be, we're going to get more out of our players with that formation. And if England and Data play a back 4, which most recently they did against Ivory Coast, then it's going to be something like that with a front 3.
Yeah, that's a good team you have there, and definitely. So let's go ahead and look over the midfield. So how many players do you think is going to make the midfield? Just the midfield, like Cam and CDM and the CM
in the starting 11,
or no, not starting 11, just the squad.
So I had about 4. I'd say about something like 6, 7, maybe 8. I would say. I mean, what I've picked would be 6, but I guess 6. Look at 6 or 7.
Okay. So let's go read the names. So you got Foden, Bellingham, Rice. Those are your 3 starters, and then I guess Henderson will be on the bench. Phillips will be on the bench, and
Mason Mount.
You could put Mason Mount. Okay, that's a good bench. Then for the forwards, let's look at wingers. So Sterling and Sancho, obviously guaranteed picks. Do you think Rashford will get selected?
I think as of now, no. And I think he's got a chance to get back in. But I think kind of depends on how well he does under Eric Ten Hag. It's a difficult one with him because he's been out of form and we can't be too sure what will lie with him. But if he at least gets to a fair level, then he's going to be in contention. It's a maybe with him, but he's probably not going to be the first wide player you're going to select.
Yeah. Personally, it's hard to say, but I still think Southgate's going to pick him just because, he's one of England's best young players. And, I will say this, though. If he doesn't perform well for United next season with Eric Ten Hag and everything like that, there is a good possibility he could be benched, not even make the squad. But I just find it hard for him to not make the squad. I just find it very difficult. So, yeah. Then let's see, who else do you have on the forwards, wingers? I guess Jack Grealish. You could also put there.
It's kind of hard to leave him out. And if it was 25 or 26, then I don't think we'd have a problem. But I guess you just have to look at who would you take out? And yeah, it's a difficult one. But I'd have him on the fringe, similar to Rashford, but much closer.
Okay, and then I guess the last player you have the winger position, unless you have any other suggestions. I guess it'd be Bukayo Saka, right?
Yeah, technically, I've got like three natural wingers, although some of them, like Foden, could go out wide. But yeah, I've kind of got 3 to 5 wingers, and then up top, 2 strikers. Although if Rashford was there, you could say striker and a winger. But I guess it would help if it wasn't down to 23, ideally. But we're going by that, so that's pretty much the squad.
Okay, that's a good squad that England have there. And I think that's a pretty good starting 11 you guys have there. So
I think Conor Gallagher will be in contention as well.
Oh, Conor Gallagher.
But I don't think he's one of the best 23.
Yeah, I don't. I think what could happen is this: he could make the preliminary squad, but I don't think he'll actually make the actual.
Yeah,
squad.
that's what I think will happen. I think there could even be a preliminary squad that with some of these close names, and then it's about of the unguaranteed and fringe players who squeezes in.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, that was a good squad that you guys have there. So, overall, what's your, I guess, to final round things off, what is your expectations for England in this World Cup?
Ooh, I think I have them as a contender to win. I think I expect 9 points, not necessarily cruising through the group, but doing enough, getting some good wins, and then resting some players in the next round, and sign off with some 9 points. Maybe have a hard game in the round of 16, but get through. If we play France, I think there's more of a chance that France win, but England do have a chance. I'd say something like they've got a 2 in 5 chance of winning that game. But if they don't have to play France, then I think England will go all the way to the final. I think they're better than Denmark, better than Spain. And so I'm looking at quarterfinals or final, maybe winning it overall.
Ooh, that'd be crazy. Yeah, because I was looking at the bracket, and I think that if you guys did meet France, and then if you guys do get past France, you could have a potential meeting with Portugal in the semis, a potential meeting. So that'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah, it could be Portugal.
Yeah. Well, what would you say, like, if that does happen, hypothetically? Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen, but how would you rate England's chances against Portugal?
I think I would expect England to beat them.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. And then in the final, we could have a final where England versus Brazil or England versus Argentina. That would be pretty insane.
England versus Germany as well.
Yeah.
I think it would be close.
Yeah. For me personally speaking, I don't believe England can win this tournament. I think, I mean, you guys definitely have the squad, but I just don't really see it, man. Unfortunately, I just feel like for me there are issues with. I don't really know if Southgate, because I feel like for me Southgate, he's a bit too defensive with England, in my personal opinion. I feel like if you guys were a bit more attacking minded, I feel like you guys could do well. And I also feel like that midfield is kind of weird. Like you guys don't have any like traditional center mids like that, and Bellingham is pretty much the only center mid. The other ones are like CDMs and cams, and I think that's not. It's gonna be kind of difficult to win a World Cup with not having a traditional center mids like that. So, I do think England. I would say England like they could get quarters. The quarters minimum should be the expectation. I would say you guys should at least.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, and if I had to potentially make a guess, I'll say something tells me that I think you guys could beat France. I think you guys very well could beat France, because I think what could happen in that game was where England could be very defensive, and France can be very stuck, and you guys can just score off a set piece and just win the game 1-0. Like that, it's something just tells me that that could happen. You know,
Could be something like the front four, the main players doing the attacking, and the rest are mainly holding the line behind hand, and maybe the fullbacks or Bellingham, Phillips, whoever's playing, contributes. But we'll certainly see. And I think England, if they are to get to the final, it's one of them where you'd say maybe, but not the first choice to win. And I think if they do, they'll play either Brazil or Germany.
yeah.
So I'd fancy Brazil's chances more, and it's Germany. Kind of depends on things really.
What about
We'll
Argentina?
certainly see when for the nation. We'll get an idea through the Nations League.
Yeah. Nations
when
League is going to be
Germany and
very
England
key.
play.
Yeah. And then because you guys have a tough group in the Nations League, I saw. I think I forgot. I think you guys had Italy, and I think you guys got Germany. Let me see the group again. And I think Hungary is it
The
right?
other team's Hungary.
Yeah. So it's a pretty tough group.
To be fair.
So yeah, I guess we'll see a lot from there. How would you fancy your chance against Argentina? Because that would be pretty crazy. Argentina versus England. I
Yeah,
could
that
also
would
very much
be. It would be. Yeah, I mean, they'll have a good crowd support. I do fancy England's chances of winning the tournament more than Argentina, but as far as a standalone game, I think it would be a grudge match, and I think both sides have a defensive structure of them each, where it'll probably be something like a 2-1 to either way. It could probably even go to extra time. So if you're looking at a standalone game, I think it would go either way.
Yeah. Yeah, my headphones ran out of batteries, so I have to charge. But anyways, you can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. So yeah, I guess we'll round of that. Let me go look at the schedule England have in the World Cup. Let me see which team they. I think you guys got Iran the opening game, right?
Yes.
Okay, Iran, and then you guys have then the USA, and then the UEFA path. I think that's a pretty good schedule. Are you content with that schedule?
Yeah, I'm happy with it. And game 2 gets to play at 60,000 seater tent stadiums, which will be fantastic.
Yeah. So, yeah, very much looking forward to it. So, yeah, like I said, man, England, let's see what they do, man. Let's see what they do because you guys have the squad, you guys have the personnel, the players. It's just down to the team, man. It's just down to the team, the mentality. It's down to Southgate as well because right now I would say England should be making a good progression because, like I said, England, they have the squad and have the capability. So, as I said, I guess we're going to round off here for today. Thank you, Mats, for coming on here. And it's going to be exciting to see how England does. And of course, maybe for the future, we could do some other. We can discuss about the England USA game in particular more in depth. We can go ahead and
I'll be open to that.
Yeah, that'll be a crazy game. And obviously, we'll discuss more. So, as I said, thank you, Mats, for coming on here. It was a good stream. And as I said, guys, comment down below your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think of?
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of the of England's chance of winning the World Cup. And I think both of us agree that England will not win the World Cup. I personally don't think you guys will win it. So
I'd say can, but not my first choice.
Yeah. I will say that too. Like you guys have the capabilities, but if I had to bet on it, you guys wouldn't be my first choice. Let me just say this right now. So yeah, as I said, that's pretty much it for today, guys. So I hope you guys did enjoy it, and also make sure, guys, if you guys want to do a collaboration with me, please hit me up on Twitter or on Discord, or even an email. You can also email me, and I'll be more than willing to do a collaboration with you for your respective country in the World Cup. So thank you, guys. Make sure you guys are going to apply the description below, social media, and of course, make sure you guys sub to Matt's channel. He's just recently hit 1,000 subscribers, so if you could subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. I'll be putting his links in the description below. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.